Welcome to the deep dive. We're the place where we try to, get past the flashy headlines and find out what's really going on. Today, we're tackling something huge, something that affects so many people and honestly plays on our hopes, that whole search for easy answers, especially for weight loss. We've all seen them, right? The shiny ads, the amazing stories, products promising huge changes without you having to do much. It's really tempting stuff. And the product we're really zeroing in on today, the one causing a lot of buzz online, is called SDGP1. It's being sold as this revolutionary weight loss supplement.
Exactly. And that's our job today, isn't it? To cut through all that buzz. We need to sort of peel back the layers on these, frankly, incredible claims.
Yeah.
Figure out what they're actually promising. And then the really crucial part, look at the evidence, or maybe more accurately, the lack of evidence behind it all. We really want to help you, our listener, navigate this stuff online, this kind of noisy space, and give you the tools to tell what's real and what's just, well, hype.
Absolutely. And to help us do that, we found this great YouTube review, really detailed, that just digs into all the marketing around SDGP1. So we'll be pulling that apart, getting to the key takeaways for you, not just about this one product, SDGP1, but hopefully so you can spot these kinds of things, these red flags in the future too. Okay, let's get into it. What's the real story here? All right, so let's start where anyone thinking about buying this would start. The big promises, the headlines, and the marketing for SDGP1 is, wow, it's bold. They're comparing it directly to real, actual prescription drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy. They promise to lose a lot of weight, get your blood sugar sorted, and here's the kicker, do it all effortlessly. Like no side effects, no hard work. I mean, it really does sound like the dream solution, doesn't it? Too good to be true, maybe.
It absolutely does. And that feeling, that too good to be true sense, that's
Yeah.
exactly what our source picked up on straight away.
Yeah.
The very first huge red flag they pointed out was this claim that it's recommended by the Mayo Clinic. Now, you probably know the Mayo Clinic. That's a really trusted source for medical info. So what did the review find? Absolutely zero mention of SDGP1 anywhere on the Mayo Clinic's official site. Zip. And crucially, the Mayo Clinic is very clear. They do not endorse random supplements like this. This isn't just like an oops or a small mistake. It feels deliberate. It's what you might call authority hijacking.
Yeah, basically borrowing trust they haven't earned. They know that name, Mayo Clinic.
Yeah.
It makes people instantly think legit. It kind of bypasses your critical thinking.
That's a really good point. Kind of sets the scene, doesn't it? Okay, so moving on. Another thing that would make anyone feel safer is this claim. FDA approved.
Yeah.
Is the FDA approved? You think, okay, safe, tested, it works. It's a powerful phrase. Suggests it's all above board. Right. And this is where it gets really important for you to understand how things are regulated. The FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, their job is specific.
Yeah.
They approve drugs, they approve medical devices
Yeah.
before they hit the market.
Right.
They look at safety, they look at whether it actually works through lots and lots of clinical trials. But dietary supplements, which SDGP1 claims it is, well, they fall under different rules.
Yeah.
They don't need that pre-market FDA approval. The company itself is supposed to make sure it's safe. So when a supplement slaps FDA approved on the label, it's borrowing the weight of drug approval, but applying it to something that hasn't gone through that same tough process. It's misleading, basically, designed to make you think it's been vetted when it hasn't.
Ah, okay. So it's a bit of wordplay, really. Clever but sneaky. And it doesn't stop there with the official sounding stuff, does it? The product also mentions things like GMP certified and USP certified. Those sound pretty official too. You see acronyms like that, you assume, okay, there's some quality control, some standard being met, adds another layer of seeming trustworthy.
Precisely what they want you to think. Like, look, GMP, good manufacturing practices, and USP, United States Pharmacopoeia, those are real standards. They generally mean a product is made properly, cleanly, and what's supposed to be in the bottle is in the bottle. But, and this is the big but our source found, with SDGP1, these claims are just incredibly vague. There's no solid proof they actually meet those standards. It's all just kind of vague and unverified. Think of it like this, maybe. Claiming GMP without proof is like saying you're a world-class baker but never letting anyone see your kitchen or taste your bread. It's just words. Smoke and mirrors to look legit without actually being legit. Gets the pattern, right? Impressive language, but nothing solid behind it.
Okay, so fake authority, vague certifications.
Yeah.
Let's get to the numbers, the really eye-catching stuff. The weight loss promises. Our source mentioned claims like losing over 100 pounds in just a few months. I mean, that's huge. If you're struggling with weight, hearing that must feel like finally a real answer, almost instant transformation.
Exactly. That hope is such a powerful thing. And they know it. They target it. But let's bring it back to reality for a second. Actual medical weight loss, even with doctors involved, Yeah.
using those real GLP-1 drugs, the Ozempics, the Wegovy's that SDGP-1 wants to be like, people typically lose maybe 10 to 15% of their body weight. And that's over a much longer time, many months, maybe a year or more. So if someone weighs, say, 250 pounds, 10% is 25 pounds, which is fantastic, life-changing even, but it's not over 100 pounds in a few months. The gap between what SDGP-1 claims and what medicine actually achieves is massive, and that's dangerous, isn't it? It's not just about wasting money on something fake. It sets people up for huge disappointment, maybe health risks from trying to achieve the impossible, and then that awful cycle of blaming yourself when it doesn't work.
Yeah, that's a really important side of it. Okay, here's maybe the most attractive claim for a lot of people. 0 side effects. That's a huge selling point, right? Especially because we know the real prescription drugs do often have side effects, nausea, stomach issues, things like that. Getting the benefits with none of the downsides sounds like the absolute dream, but how likely is that, really?
That's a fundamental question, isn't it, about just basic biology. Is that even realistic? Any substance strong enough to seriously mess with your appetite or metabolism, as they claim, it's going to come with something, some kind of reaction. Our bodies just react to changes. Even those real tested GLP-1 drugs given under doctor's orders often cause nausea, vomiting, digestive upset, especially at the start or when the dose goes up. So the idea that something could make you lose over 100 pounds and have absolutely 0 side effects, it just doesn't add up biologically. It flies in the face of, well, everything we know. It feels like a claim designed specifically to counter one of the main reasons people might hesitate about real medication.
Yeah.
But it's just deeply unlikely, dishonest, really.
Okay, so if the claims are this wild, what are they saying is in it? What's the secret sauce? The product says its main ingredient is something called SMGD GLP-1. And this is where the review got really, really interesting. You'd think, okay, revolutionary product, must be some amazing new compound, right? Something with loads of science behind it.
And what the source found, well, it's maybe the most stunning part of this whole thing. This ingredient, SMGD GLP-1, it doesn't seem to exist in any medical research anywhere.
Yeah.
There's no scientific backing for it, no published studies, nothing. It looks like the ingredient was just made up. It's basically a mystery ingredient or just pure marketing fluff. And this isn't, unique just to SDGP-1. Lots of shady supplements do this. They use fancy-sounding made-up names or hide behind proprietary blends so you can't research the ingredients. It keeps up the illusion of some secret breakthrough.
Wait, hang on. So not only are the endorsements fake, the approval's misleading, the results totally unrealistic, the side effects impossible, but the actual main ingredient, the thing that's supposed to do everything, it doesn't even exist.
Seems that way.
Wow, that's next level. That takes it way beyond just exaggeration, doesn't it?
It really does. And it's so important for you, the listener, to grasp this. If the core ingredient is just made up, then everything else they say is just decoration, window dressing on an empty promise. It's like the ultimate emperor has no clothes situation, and the pattern just keeps going. They also claim it's been a global success for 7 years. Now, that sounds impressive, right? Suggests it's been around, people like it, it works. 7 years is a long time for a product to prove itself, collect good reviews, show some data.
Yeah, you definitely think so. If something's been a global success for that long, you'd expect to find, well, something. Independent studies, real reviews all over the place, maybe some scientific papers.
Exactly what you'd expect, and exactly what's missing. Our source looked, and again, no proof of that. Just nothing. No data, no reviews, no clinical trials to back up this big claim. It's just another grand statement hanging in the air with 0 evidence underneath it. The fact that this data isn't there isn't just a small issue. It's a massive red flag. This whole consistent pattern, it's not random. It feels like a carefully built strategy designed purely to exploit people's hopes for a quick fix.
Okay, wow. This paints a really clear picture and honestly, a pretty disturbing one. So let's just run through it again. We've got fake endorsements from big names like the Mayo Clinic, misleading claims about FDA approval that twist the facts, absolutely wild promises about weight loss like 100+ pounds with 0 side effects, which just isn't biologically possible. And topping it all off, the main ingredient seems to be completely fabricated, just made up. It's like a textbook example of how to build a really elaborate, deceptive marketing campaign.
So yeah, what's the bottom line here for you listening to this? Our source is pretty blunt. Their conclusion was the whole thing seems like a scam built to take advantage of people who are desperate to lose weight.
Right.
This isn't just about a product that maybe doesn't work as well as advertised. It feels like a deliberate plan to prey on vulnerability. When you see all these different pieces lining up, the fake authority, the impossible claims, the non-existent ingredient, it's not just bad luck or poor marketing. It looks like a calculated attempt to get your money by selling false hope.
We've definitely covered a lot of ground here, really pulling back the curtain on SDGP-1. Just to recap those big red flags we found: the fake Mayo Clinic connection trying to borrow trust, the misleading FDA approval stuff that hides the real regulatory picture, those totally over-the-top weight loss promises playing on people's desperation, the impossible zero side effects claim that just doesn't make sense scientifically, and maybe the most shocking, the main ingredient that apparently doesn't even exist. It's quite the combination.
It really brings home how important it is for all of us navigating this online world full of health claims to keep our critical thinking switched on, doesn't it? Especially when something sounds too easy, too quick, too perfect. You really have the right to demand real proof, actual sources you can check, proper science, not just fancy words and made-up stories. Understanding how these tactics work is hopefully empowering. It helps you protect yourself, your health, your money, and just your own sense of what's real.
Absolutely. Which leaves us with a final thought, maybe something for you to chew on. In this world where we're just flooded with information and everyone seems to be offering an easy fix, how do we get better at spotting these kinds of sophisticated scams? Almost like developing a sixth sense for it. And what's the real cost? Not just the money, but the emotional cost, the personal cost of falling for these kinds of unproven promises. What will you be looking for next time you come across a miracle product that seems to offer that perfect shortcut you've been hoping for?